Hey guys, got another horror DVD review today. This is the 2011 Tape 407. Now, in America, I believe it's released as Area 407, so I don't know why it's got a different title, but it does. It's another After Dark film. You know, it's all got the same cover design as the other ones. I've got a lot there, if you can see them. There's a good set of them. It's a nice collection. They all seem like pretty decent films. They're all low-budget films. But to be honest, so far I've been let down by them. I'm hoping I've just been unlucky and selected the worst of the films, but so far they've not been great. I'm hoping there's some good films in there, but it doesn't seem to be that way at the moment. Because after watching this, I have to say it's a really terrible film. It's a ridiculously low budget. It's a found footage film, all handheld and stuff. And to me, it felt unnecessary. I think it would have been a lot better, the film, if it wasn't handheld. So that's just something that stuck with me. Like, I think this film, obviously they've done it to help with the budget restrictions, but still, this film could have been improved if it wasn't handheld. But, you know, whatever. Overall, I thought this was a terrible film. It's one of the worst films I've seen in recent years. Well, since I've started doing this whole collection and the reviews, it's one of the biggest letdowns I've had, because to me, it looked like Lost from the trailers that I watched. So it's about a plane that crashes, and it kind of looked like it could have been an island in the trailers, I don't know. And there's some kind of monster in, like, the forest and stuff. And, you know, to me, that's something like Lost. I mean, I'm a massive fan of Lost, and I thought, you know, that's cool, it's a good idea. Goodish idea, copy, I suppose, but whatever, you know, I like that idea of the whole plane crashing and people lost and stuff, but no, it was really poorly done. Like, I was surprised by how low budget it was. Like, literally, you don't really ever see anything. Like, the plane crash was really terrible. Like, you just seen it from inside, obviously, because it's first person, and it was just really unnatural, and the acting was cheesy, and it was really poorly done. And one thing to mention, I think the characters in this were so annoying. Like, as soon as they introduced the main sisters, I was like, oh god. Just the voices, the way they act, the terrible acting, and everything about the two main girls was just so annoying. They was really loud. Like, they had stupid voices, and they just looked weird, to be honest. I know that's really harsh, but they just annoyed me straight away. And there's not many more redeeming qualities for the rest of the cast. I mean, the rest of the cast were pretty poor. And throughout the film, I found people to be screeching and screaming and kind of shouting over each other. And afterwards, I found out that a lot of the dialogue was improvised. Now, that was pretty obvious in the film, because at certain points I was thinking, have they messed up? Like, it seemed like they messed up with the speeches, like with the lines, and you know what I mean? Some of the lines weren't right, and it turns out it probably was a mistake that the actors made, but it stayed in the film. In some cases, that can make a film look pretty realistic, but in this, it seemed like all the actors were just trying to get as much screen time as possible, and it becomes just too annoying, and their voices and screaming and shouting was overbearing. The decisions in the film are pretty terrible. There's no violence. You don't actually see anything. I have no idea how this is an 18 film. Like, after the plane crash, they're all pretty bloody. But then you don't see a single person get killed. Like, they're all dragged off into the darkness, or they just disappear and the camera's not looking. And it was, you know, poorly done, and you don't get much in the film. There's plenty of kind of suspense, like they're running and hiding, but you don't actually see anyone get attacked, which is really disappointing. So it's a dinosaur film as well, I didn't mention. Which I was really surprised. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be a dinosaur film. I wasn't expecting some kind of monster, but not dinosaurs. It seemed like throughout the film he was getting attacked by a velociraptor, and a couple of velociraptors actually, inside a military base. Which the idea is good, but if done better, it would have been a better film if it was better executed. One thing that really annoyed me is when they first crashed, he was hearing these screaming, like monster screams, and instead of like looking with the camera, the person holding the camera was just recording people's reactions to screams, which I know that would not happen in real life. I mean, found footage films are supposed to look natural and realistic, so why would they have the back to the screams recording people's reactions? You know, it makes no sense. So much of the film did not make sense to me. Like, the whole concept of the military thing, like the military's actions in the film didn't make sense. At the end, it says here, a twist ending that will leave you breathless. I was pretty breathless from laughing. It was the worst CGI dinosaur I have ever seen. It was like a sci-fi special. It was like the worst you can imagine from a sci-fi film. It was a T-Rex, but it was quite small, but it snuck up on someone. It snuck up in front of somebody, a T-Rex. How could you not notice a T-Rex coming at you? So that just sums up the entire film. It's just stupid, boring, and a waste of time. So out of enjoyment, I'm giving this a 2 out of 3. It was a terrible film. Avoid this film. Do not watch it unless you love sci-fi cheesy piles of crap. So thank you. Have you got a rating as well?
2.
2
I
out of
didn't
10.
enjoy it.
A pretty terrible film. That's Tape 407 or Area 407 if you're in America, I believe. And yes, so that's another After Dark film. And so far, the After Dark films are looking pretty bad. There's not been one I've really enjoyed. Some have been okay, but this one was a pile of crap. So avoid that, and that is my review. So thank you, please subscribe, and I'll keep putting on videos.